This is the Iowa Weather Report for Thursday, January 9th, 2014. And now our first look at the 0Z GFS model run. This is at noon today. We have a flow mainly zonal across the country. It's nothing like the high amplitude pattern we had earlier in the week. We have a system off to our south and southeast that could produce a little bit of snow activity, mainly over our far southeastern counties. It'll be very light, if any accumulation possible. Highs today will mainly be in the 20s, teens in the north to near 30 in the south. But it's this system here on Friday that we have to worry about. Could start in very early Friday morning with a little bit of freezing drizzle, some sleet, could change over to rain in the far southeast, could stay as a wintry mix in the north. And then as we head to midnight on Saturday morning, you can see the low pressure center in northwest Illinois, and we could see an area of maybe some heavy snow possible if a deformation zone happens to set up. And as you can see here, by midday Saturday, that's long gone. Could we see a few inches of snow? It's possible. It's a little bit too early because there's still a little bit of there's not real model consistency with the snowfall on that. Sunday, though, we warm back up, mainly into the 20s to lower to mid-30s, but another clipper system is going to be coming through late in the day, and that'll cool us back down here on Monday, back into the 20s statewide, maybe some upper teens in the northern and northeastern counties. Any activity with that, maybe a flurry at best Sunday night, and then that's off to the east Monday. Tuesday, another clipper system comes down to reinforce the cooler air. This too will bring nothing more than maybe a flurry or two, as most of the moisture will be over the Great Lakes. Winds will be fairly breezy on Tuesday, so we could see wind chills down near zero. And then Wednesday, we start to moderate as winds turn west to west-southwesterly. We could see temperatures in the 20s, maybe the low to mid-30s in the western counties with the clipper system off to our north. And then that's going to swing down into the Great Lakes here next Thursday, with a little bit of flurry activity here once again as temperatures drop back down into the 20s, maybe upper teens in the northeastern counties. Going into the extended period on January the 20th, we have pretty zonal flow across the country, a bit of a short wave over the Great Lakes at this point, flow mainly slightly coming out of Canada but not out of the Arctic. And we could see temperatures in the 20s, 30s, some snow off to our east, another system crashing into the Pacific Northwest coast that could bring some decent amounts of precip there. At the end of the forecast on January the 24th, we have some energy with a short wave moving through New England into the Canadian Maritimes, another over the Intermountain West. Flow still fairly zonal, and that's going to keep the temperatures fairly seasonal for this time of the year, but that storm system off to our west here at the end of the period, we'd have to watch that in future model runs to see if we see any consistency with that over the next week or so. Taking a look at the satellite image from last evening, we had a few clouds to our south and west with the gathering system that'll come through at least the southeastern counties later today. Then the system off to our west that'll produce a lot of activity later in the week into the weekend. Watch warning map from last evening, some winter weather advisories across Kansas, Oklahoma, most of Arkansas, Missouri, western Kentucky, Tennessee, and northern Mississippi, and also across the Pacific Northwest and northern Rockies as well. The QPF chart precipitation over the next 5 days through Monday evening at 6 o'clock showing precipitation around here will range from almost nothing in the west to maybe a quarter to a half an inch of liquid equivalent over the east. The heaviest will be over the north and western part of the country.